Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about the match between FC Barcelona and Shakhtar. Barcelona have been able to beat Shakhtar 2-1 with a goal coming from Ferran Torres and Fermin Lopez. And this is where I do want to take this video first. I want to speak about Fermin Lopez for a moment because what Fermin Lopez has shown against Shakhtar and in this Champions League night has been phenomenal. These are going to be his stats against Shakhtar. He played a total of 82 minutes, completed 37 out of 45 passes, had 1 goal, 3 chances created. He hit the woodwork 2 times. 1 goal was ruled out, which was that amazing header. Then he had 3 dribbles completed. 100% of the tackles were won. He had 8 ball recoveries, and then lastly he had 7 out of 12 duels won. It was a insane and a unstoppable performance from Fermin Lopez. This was his first Champions League start, and this debut was amazing. There is no words right now that I can place out that can describe what Fermin Lopez has been for Xavi Hernandez. I would also say that he was one of the best players on this night, and you know, right? Like doing this at just 20 years old, it is unheard of. This is the reason why I made the video that I made yesterday about how La Masia is the best academy in the world, is because we're able to bring academy players, put them into the first team and give us what we need for our first team results. And I'm even going to say this, if we look at what he provides in the attack, everything that Fermin Lopez has been and the type of goals he has been providing, this is what Xavi Hernandez was expecting from Pedri. But there are 2 reasons on why Pedri has not been able to score like how Fermin Lopez has been scoring. It's because point number 1, he's been injured 60% of the time, and 2, he has just been very unlucky. We have seen Pedri try to score a lot of goals, like for example, right? I talked about how Xavi Hernandez has told Pedri, go for 10 goals and 10 assists in 1 season, right? Meet those type of demands, but he has been unable to do that. You can see that when he is on the pitch, Pedri tries to score goals, he tries to provide assists, but he has been unlucky. But with Fermin Lopez, it's like, I think that his talent is to score goals. He's just really good at shooting the ball and really good in the air. And so Fermin Lopez has been doing what Xavi Hernandez has been demanding from Pedri, and that is big for the player, big for us, and big for Xavi Hernandez. Another thing about this whole performance from Fermin is that this is also going to allow Gavi to play in much deeper positions, because Fermin Lopez is able to score goals, provide assists as a central midfielder, meaning that Gavi does not have to be so high and he can play in deeper positions, and he does play much better when he sits right next to either Frankie de Jong or Oriol Romeu. So he has been so solid that I think if we start Fermin Lopez against Real Madrid on Saturday, I wouldn't mind that at all. Like, for whatever reason, Frankie de Jong cannot make it and they just say that Frankie de Jong needs more time, okay, then fine, place Fermin Lopez. You can tell that he'll give it 100%, and that is the most amazing thing about this, is that his attitude is 100% correct. He's not a player that just scores a goal or provides an assist and then he's like, okay, that's it, my job is finished, I'm just going to relax, look good on the photos, and just, you know, like vibe out there on the field. He's not like that. He wants more. He always wants more. He gives the correct attitude. He's always 100% focused. He is always 100% determined to win every duel, and we're gonna need that against Real Madrid. If he can do what he did in that preseason match against Real Madrid, where he scored a goal and he had an amazing performance, he can definitely go even better in this upcoming Clásico with having more games under his belt, right? He has much more experience. Now, stepping away from this conversation, I want to speak about the game overall. If we look at the attacking activity here between Barcelona and Shakhtar, you can very well see that Barcelona were playing much better in the first 45 minutes. In the second half, not so much. And that's one of the things that really does bother me about Barcelona's game and this version of Barcelona right now, right? The one this season, because the one from the previous season would have never allowed this type of performance, but they gave the respect to Shakhtar in the second half. After seeing Barcelona go 2-0 up, what they decided to do in the last 45 minutes was to allow Shakhtar to breathe. And I don't know why these players allow the opposition to do that. We have seen this multiple times through the season, right? We have a lead and then we give the opposition room to breathe. Why do that? Like, why allow more chances for the opposition? Even Ter Stegen was so mad by the way that Shakhtar scored that goal. Like, we started off well, don't get me wrong. Fermin Lopez was amazing. Ferran Torres was amazing. Lamine Yamal was getting his chances. Gundogan was playing phenomenal. The defense was playing okay. But then when we got into the second half, we dropped our tempo, our rhythm. We dropped the flow of the game. We dropped the intensity of the game. The pressure against the opposition also dropped. Everything dropped in the second half. And I'm like, why are we relaxing? Where's the urgency? Why don't we want more? Why can't we make it 3-0 or 4-0 or 5-0? You better bet that if we repeat the exact same thing against Real Madrid will score not just 1 goal, but they will score about 2 or 3 more goals if we drop our intensity in the level like this. Does this have something to do with the fact that the players are fatigued and that they're thinking about the other game against Real Madrid? Because that's not the way to go. Like, I know that maybe in the back of their heads, right, they were thinking about Real Madrid and that, you know, they didn't want to get injured or something like that, but I don't see the point. Like, why give the respect to the opposition? The game is now. The game is today. The one that is important is today. Don't think about the next game. And so in that second half, there were a lot of things that did not really go well. I want to kind of separate this into two different parts. in the second half. I don't really like the chemistry between Oriol Romeu and Cancelo. That was one of the worst in the second half, like one of the worst parts. And I don't really want to see that chemistry, that duo, those two players playing at the same time against Real Madrid, because the amount of mistakes that happened, the amount of lack of defensive coverage was just insane. I'm just like, what is this? Like, we're supposed to be defending much better. It's how Shakhtar got their goal against us, is because they were able to outrun Oriol Romeu. Cancelo was out of position and they were able to score that goal. And so there were many mistakes, and you know, I just can't wait to see players like Frankie or Gavi or Pedri come back and take the position of Oriol Romeu, because you better bet that goal would have never happened if Gavi was there or if Frankie was there. It makes me nervous because I don't want to see Oriol Romeu and Cancelo try to build something or try to defend Bellingham and Vinicius when they go at them. I don't feel comfortable, and this game kind of solidifies my statement. I don't want to see Cancelo start. I would much rather have Araujo start on the right back position, and then I don't know about the center back pairings, but I definitely do not want to see Cancelo there, and I do want to see Araujo. As for Oriol Romeu, even though I know that he had some amazing moments in the game, I still don't want to see him. I think that Frankie de Jong should definitely come back as soon as possible and take his position, and if not, place Christensen in that position. It just gets me very nervous. It's not a good look, and I know that I think that all of us can agree on that. Now, a good thing about the second half was that our bright light and the most effective players were coming through Lamine Yamal and Fermin Lopez. Lamine Yamal's chemistry with Fermin Lopez was on point. They connected so many passes. They were trying to go through the defense. They found some chances, but it was unlucky, right, for both players. Fermin Lopez hit the post. Lamine Yamal was getting covered in the last few seconds of the play, and then like two players were always on him, and they were one of the most dangerous players. And like I've said, straight from La Masia, the fact that Barcelona's best players were La Masia players, what a great representation. And so they were a lot of fun to watch. On the 68th minute, we saw Fermin Lopez receive a ball from Lamine Yamal. Again, he hits the post, and then like 30 seconds later, Fermin Lopez heads a ball. The ball went straight into the goal after Marcos Alonso made an amazing cross into the box, but unfortunately it was ruled offside. So overall, it was a okay performance. There's definitely some things that we have to learn from the game, like for example, not dropping the tempo in the second half, and we got the 3 points. We are on top of the table in this Champions League group stages. We're getting the job done, but we can always improve on top of this. Now the next game is going to be against Real Madrid. Let's see how these next 2 to 3 days do play out in terms of our injury list, who returns and who doesn't return. Could we see Frankie de Jong come back? Could we see Pedri come back? Could we see Lewandowski come back? Could we see Rafinha come back? Very important days ahead. And of course, we are going to be talking about El Clasico and its pre-match preview on this YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.